Hello and welcome to episode 166 of Ready to Mosh. I'm Gem G, and with me as always, some may refer to him as a thunder god. It's Mr. Kev P.
That's me.
Indeed.
You must be the Twilight.
Yeah, all sparkly.
Mm-hmm. Amongst many things.
Charming.
I never said they were bad things.
True. It was the way you looked at me that people can't see. We need to start getting visual on these episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's potentially an episode that was never meant to be because it's our Bloodstock review part 3.
Mm.
And after we realised how long part 2 was on just Saturday, we've split Sunday off.
Yeah,
Separately.
just recording it separately because Friday Saturday just went on for so long.
Yeah. Who knew we found so much to talk about?
Well, we did do quite a lot.
We did. Yeah, we were here, there, everywhere. As you will know if you listen to it. And we're just going to start off as we did episode 2, the review part 2. A couple of things that we forgot to mention in previous episodes. This is why we just do one long episode, because we wouldn't then get to mention what we forgot, would we?
That's right.
So when we did the architect review, we forgot to mention the goose.
Goose.
Goose. Not a lot more to say about it, really, but we just realised we never mentioned the goose. We felt it deserved one. And we also forgot to mention Friday, Hatebreed's big ball.
The ball of death.
I don't know how we managed to forget that one, but...
It was fucking huge.
Yeah, it didn't actually come near us, though, did it? Really? Not that near.
Not that near. No, we were in the middle, weren't we? But yeah. Quite far back.
Yeah. We had a good view, actually, where we were.
Yeah, really good view.
I did see at one point, I'm sure it kind of went very far to, as you look at the stage to the left, kind of towards the stalls down there. It got loose. It looked a bit, what do you call it, Indiana Jones.
Temple of Doom.
Yeah. It reminded me of that. I think that's everything that we forgot to mention.
I think that's what we forgot.
If there's anything else, it may come up randomly in the episode. So
You've been warned.
You've been warned. We'll just crack on with Sunday as we remember it.
So started off campsite breakfast.
Yeah, we had a different food van on site than the one we had last year, which was better because the one last year seemed to open fairly late.
Yeah, it was never fucking open last year.
And not all day. I think it literally, I don't know what time it did open, but I remember, I think we've already said, loitering around waiting for coffee. And it only kind of did breakfast, whereas the one we had this year it seemed to be open 24 hours.
I think it was open from like 7 a.m. They must have closed maybe around midnight.
And so when we walked back from the arena late, it was still open, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah. We definitely made it back after midnight.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so it did food all day and drinks, and we thought we would treat ourselves to a Sunday breakfast.
Sausage, bacon, hash brown for me.
And hash brown and egg for me. On a brioche bun, of course.
Yeah, I don't... Stop putting stuff on sweet buns.
I think we need to start a campaign, don't we?
Yeah, get rid of fucking brioche.
I always feel diddled as well because I only get one egg, and I know I say this all the time, but how is one egg the same price as bacon and sausage? Pretty much. Having said that, I kind of put my own veggie sausage in because I had a corn sausage roll left, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I improvised, but it was very nice, actually, I have to say. Coffee was just...
Coffee.
It wasn't overly exciting. They didn't do any fancy coffees. It was just coffee, but better than nothing. And yeah, it was an early start again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And the queues weren't as bad for the showers, from what I remember.
No, I think we pretty much kind of woke up and...
Just got showered.
Got on with it, really. But no, I don't think there was a queue at all, actually.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah.
Although that's when someone opened the door on someone.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Which was quite amusing because like I'm queuing for the shower and then this girl from the campsite just came up and just started trying all the doors. It's like, well, can you not see people are fucking queuing, you muppet?
Some people may not have the concept of queues.
Yeah. And then she decided to pull one door open and there was a woman showering.
Yeah, which was the one next to the one I was in.
Yeah.
I just heard a very loud squeal. So make sure your doors are locked, people, if you're in a shower.
Oh,
and then there was the one door that kind of wedged, didn't it?
I had that door on the Sunday, I think.
I had it on the Friday.
Yeah.
I had to kind of really pull it in to get it to lock properly. And then I had to shoulder barge it and nearly flew across the field to get out. And I saw other people doing it as well. So.
Well, it was the bottom of the door that was fucked. Yeah. So I had no problem closing it, but to get out, I had to kick the bottom of the door.
Yeah.
Just kind of like kick it open once I unlocked it and unclasped it. Yeah, that was the shower incidents.
Yeah. So, first tangent of the episode.
Yeah.
Dodgy shower doors.
It was holiday.
Yeah, and we didn't partake, did we? We didn't dress up.
No. But I don't think a lot of people did. I saw one Michael Myers, and that was about it, really.
I think I saw a few, and I'd actually forgotten about it till we got into kind of Serpent's Lair and went to drop the bag off.
Hmm.
And I saw someone dressed as Michael Myers sat on a picnic bench and felt a bit confused.
Well, it's probably the same person.
Probably
Then,
was, yeah. I can't remember who else I saw, but I think I saw a Beetlejuice.
Well, compared to like the other days, well,
Yeah.
especially compared to like the dinosaur one,
Hmm.
which I suppose is kind of easier.
Yeah, just put up on a blow up suit, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really can't remember now who else I saw, but I did see a few scattered around.
Hmm.
Anyway, my first stop on Sunday was to go and watch some Rockfit. Not participate, just watch for once. But I was in the arena in time, so I thought I'd just go over, wave to a few people, watch a bit, film a bit.
Yeah, it's worth noting you do know the people that you were waving to. You weren't just randomly waving at people doing it.
I stand there with my camera and wave like a weirdo. Yeah. No, Sunday's class was led by Sam, who is one of our local Nottingham instructors and the one I frequent. And yeah, a few other people that I knew were taking part. So yeah, filmed a bit of that because I'd got about 10 minutes before we needed to be in the New Blood, which was why I wasn't partaking in Rockfit this time. But there was a good crowd of people there again, as there had been on all 3 days, I think.
Mm. And I went over to the New Blood pretty much straight away.
Yeah, and I met you in there.
Yeah. The first band we watched was Straight for the Sun.
Yes, another great opening band on the New Blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually think these were an amazing pick as the first band on Sunday because it was the right kind of band and right kind of tempo.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, it wasn't extreme full on. It wasn't too much of anything, as in, like, really heavy.
Yeah, it was more almost like a classic rock.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
But a real good pickup.
Yeah, perfect kind of Sunday band, really.
Yeah.
Again, a band that we've heard quite a bit about on and off over the last couple of years, I would say. So it's great to finally catch them live.
Yeah, I can see them doing a lot more UK festivals, especially based off that performance.
Mm. Yeah, considering how early it was as well, they
got a really good crowd.
Good crowd, considering he was on the main stage, we'll talk about in a minute. And an awesome vocal as well, which, you know, to be able to sing like that anyway is one thing, but that time of day.
Yeah.
And yeah, the band that they clashed with was Raised by Owls, kind of half clashed with. Straight for the Sun started at 10:30 and then Raised by Owls run at 11:15. And apparently Raised by Owls had the biggest crowd ever for a main stage opener at Bloodstock.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised because they're
notorious.
Kind of pretty legendary in their own way, if you know what I mean. Which, like I was saying, it was great that Straight for the Sun had such a crowd considering that, because even though there was like a 15-minute difference in the times, people would still been getting a good spot for Raised by Owls.
Yeah.
Right? And I really wanted to watch all of Raised by Owls. I was quite torn, like literally as soon as Straight for the Sun had finished, I kind of ran over.
Yeah. Well, you ran over and I went and got a drink from the cider bar, and I thought you were going to come back to me, but you were just waiting, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought you were coming to me. And at that point, the sun was really hot on me, and I could feel myself dehydrating and my mouth drying up. Where are you? I need a drink.
Yeah. Then when I eventually realised, I'd wander over to you, and I'd already finished my drink.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best cider I had all weekend.
That was the rhubarb cider, wasn't it, as well?
Just for the fact it was cold and wet.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't necessarily needing a drink. I just needed some liquid of any sort. But yeah, Raised by Owls are great, weren't they? They just, what can you say? They bought Sam's mum out, which we knew was going to happen.
Yes.
So shout out to Barbara. She was hilarious. Did a bit of that mashing, didn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I actually watched more Raised by Owls than I thought I did, because there was quite a decent chunk that I got to watch between the New Blood bands.
Yeah, you saw Mr. Blobby and his dildos come out.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got a bit deflated going into the crowd. They played stuff off the new album, some of their more classic tracks. Sam's obviously got great stage presence, and yeah, just so fun to see his mum on there. If you're familiar with them from their kind of online sketches and stuff, you know, all about why she's an integral part of the band. And then to finish with, they did a death metal cover of Break Stuff.
Which I didn't see because I was already inside for the New Blood band.
Yes.
Because they'd already started.
But yeah, again, that was just great fun. We all crouched down and had to do the jump up thing, which I managed to participate in. There was lots of inflatable balls flying around all over the shop. And if you missed out, then you missed a treat with that one.
And while you were doing that bit, I was there to watch the start of Space Pistol.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, the crowd that they'd got in, even before Raised by Owls had finished, it was really busy in there.
Yeah, I was surprised actually, because as soon as Raised by Owls finished, I went running back over to New Blood.
Yeah, and you were this side, you were the New Blood side of the stage as well, weren't you? The main stage.
Yeah.
So you only had like a 2-minute walk at the most.
If that, yeah.
And they were much heavier than I expected them to be.
I thought that as well, actually, live, because I mean, they're great to listen to anyway, but they definitely had more of a kind of a gnarly, heavier sound.
Yeah. And I've never seen that much energy at that time in the morning as well.
No, we spoke about other bands being energetic early on in the New Blood, but they were another level.
Yeah.
I also don't think I've ever seen a band in pink boiler suits before.
Not in pink. Seen orange and various other colours.
Red.
Yeah, but never pink.
No, and we found out where that came from in our interview with them.
We did, yeah.
So we're not going to tell you why they wear pink boiler suits. Listen to the interview, which won't be out just yet, but it will be soon.
So that was Space Pistol. And then it was after that we had a chance to wander over to the gallery.
Yeah, we'd kind of walked past all weekend and there'd always been quite a queue. And we spotted there was hardly any queue. So we were like, we have got a bit of a gap now, so let's go and do it. Because last year we messed up and didn't realise what time it closed and we missed it.
Absolutely, yeah. Dropped a bollock last year.
Yeah, went in the year before. But yeah, last year we missed out. So we thought, right, go for it.
I do like that they keep some of the same things each year. It's like all of the signed posters.
Yeah, and the artwork.
Signed framed artwork, yeah, with all the bands on.
Yeah, because the logo's always slightly different each year, isn't it? And it's good that you can keep watching the back. It's pretty much like any museum, really. It's core exhibits, and then there's always like a special exhibit for that year.
Yeah, and this year was obviously the Lemmy tribute, and that looked just mad, didn't it? You did kind of feel like you were in a dressing room.
Yeah, it was. It was weird to think that was actually his dressing room as such.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was odd, but it was really cool. And I don't know if I imagine they won't replicate that next year. I imagine it will just be the bust next year.
Yeah, because that's gone off to Rock City, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously we'll see it there. But from what I remember, I think it's coming back to Bloodstock each year, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming obviously with all the other kind of Motorhead things that were going off across the weekend, that dressing room thing was just a one-off because it probably took quite a bit of getting together actually. So there'll probably be something else in there next year. And it's always great to see all the photos and stuff as well. Some of which changed. So, and then after the gallery, Cultura Tres were on the main stage. They were a band we'd both kind of shortlisted that we wanted to check out, so we did.
Yeah, they were fucking loud and heavy. Really good.
And a great band to be out in the sunshine too, I think. It really
I think so, yeah. Kind of like a Breed sort of band.
Yeah, they reminded me of that. Obviously some hints of Sepultura as well. Not to kind of lump them in with South American bands, but those vibes were there.
Yeah. One of them was actually with Sepultura.
They were actually.
So couldn't actually be with Cultura Tres.
Yeah, it's always great to see bands that you haven't seen before, obviously. And these were one of those bands that were new to me as well for Bloodstock this year. I've not really come across them.
Yeah, same. We've got a really good spot for them as well.
Yeah, the main stage was quite empty at that point. I don't know if everyone had kind of watched Raised by Owls and then
gone for a drink.
Gone for the breakfast maybe, I don't know. But yeah, we got quite close for them.
Yeah, they were excellent. Hopefully they'll come back, play some more UK dates.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And I got my ice cream.
You did? I didn't, did I?
No. Well, you wanted to be all fussy, didn't you?
I wanted to try the black ice cream, but there was only one ice cream van over by the New Blood. And you went to the one that was kind of next to the main stage, the other side. And they didn't have
Well, that's the side we were on,
yeah. Exactly. And at that point in time, I didn't want to go all the way over there just for an ice cream. I thought I'll get one later, but never did.
I certainly did. I inhaled my ice cream.
Of course you did.
However, we missed Froglord.
Of all the bands that we missed, that's definitely one that we are quite sad about. We have seen them before, as you know, but it would have been great to see them in the New Blood. And we did see him wandering around afterwards in full frog paraphernalia, but we didn't get a chance to say hello either.
No, that was a shame.
But I know that they've got some tour dates or things coming up later in the year.
Yeah, so I think we'll be going to that.
Yeah, we might get a frog fix later on.
We need to talk about his dinner time food as well.
We do actually, because that came up next. Your ice cream was like an aperitif.
Yeah, like a mid-morning
snack.
Yeah, and I think food must have been early afternoon.
Maybe a second breakfast,
Yes.
Hobbit style. Yeah, it was one of those weird food times for me. I think for both of us, actually. You know, when it's hot and you don't know what you want to eat, but you know you need to eat something.
Yeah.
But everything you see doesn't quite appeal. But anyway, I went to, I can't remember the exact name of the store, something like the vegan chicken type stall, and had a faux chicken wrap, which was really nice, actually.
Mm.
It was good faux chicken.
Yeah, I went to the noodle place and had chicken. What were they?
I think it was salt and chili.
Salt and chili chicken balls with noodles.
And it was a good portion, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really big. And again, it's another one of those I couldn't eat all the way through. Well, I mean, I ate all my chicken, of course, but
What happens when you have your pudding before your dinner?
well, yeah.
And just to add on to that, I kind of got over my phobia of festival noodles because I did have a few of the noodles, didn't I?
You did?
And they were very nice, I have to say.
Yeah, a lot of them, but they were good.
And then it was time for our first interviews of Sunday. So we went into the press tent to get ourselves set up. And I think the first one we did was me interviewing Straight for the Sun, who we've just talked about opening up the New Blood.
Yeah, I got Dead Flesh next.
That sounds very weird.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I interviewed Dead Flesh next.
And then I interviewed Sathamel.
Yeah, and they were all pretty much back to back, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, I think Sunday we had kind of 3 back to back. A little, maybe, was it half hour, maybe 45-minute break, and then another 3 back to back.
Yeah, so it was pretty full on Sunday.
Especially in the heat.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember which band it was we spoke to, actually, and they were like, oh, I hope you're standing in the shade. And I was like, yeah, we've managed to get a shady spot now. We were in the sun for a couple of them, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's not good trying to interview people when your brain is melting.
I can't remember who it was.
I can't now.
I think it was Acadian.
It could have been. Yes, actually, thinking about it.
Because you ran to see Acadian.
Yeah, well, we both did.
Well, we both did, yeah.
Yeah. In the gap that we had, we did go and went over to the New Blood. I stopped off to watch a little bit of Beast in Black, who I was kind of half and half wanting to see. So I just watched a track or 2 of them, went to see the first half of Acadian, and then we had to be back to interview Crowbar.
Yeah.
So we need a shortcut from New Blood to the press area.
We do, yeah.
Put that in the feedback.
Yeah, I did the first 2 back to back as well.
And I know we were definitely in a sunny spot for those because
We were, yeah.
I just remember the sun on my face while being in charge of the equipment, which is also not good.
Yeah, Crow God and Space Pistol. So there were 2 very different kinds of interviews. Crow God were kind of quite relaxed, I think.
Yeah, considering they hadn't played yet, I think they were in that kind of
They were quite
chill at that point. Although
yeah.
they weren't playing until about 7, and this must have been about, what, 2, 3 o'clock maybe?
Yeah. They were headline band, weren't they?
Yeah,
For the
on the
New
New
Blood.
Blood, or well, last to play,
Yeah.
I guess. Were they Kent's Metal to the Masses winners?
I think they were.
Yeah, and they were actually being supported there by Adam from Tribe of Ghosts.
Yes. And they've got a quite, which I didn't realise, but they've got quite a varied mix of members.
Yeah, it's an interesting lineup, isn't it?
Yeah. And so they weren't just all British members, as you get with most of the bands. They were a mixture of 3 countries.
Yeah, and quite a different age range.
A very different age range, yeah.
Very interesting band. I mean, we liked them to listen to anyway, but it was good to kind of see the faces behind the music in particular,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
And then after the interview with Crow God, I interviewed Space Pistol, who were the most excited band, I think, of the entire weekend.
Absolutely. They serenaded with a song.
Yeah, they would. I've never seen anybody so excited. I mean, that really comes through on the interview. So
Yeah, they were definitely on that. We've done our set, post-set high kind of.
oh yeah. And then you interviewed Acadian.
Yeah, who'd literally been off stage about half an hour. So I think we must have been their first press since playing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm pretty sure it must have been them that we kind of went in the shade for.
And again, that was another good interview. And even though they'd only just come off stage, you could see they were still kind of trying to take everything in.
Yeah, I think they said something that implied that, half the brain was still on stage or something during one of the questions. I can't remember which one it was, but
they did seem in a bit of state of shock. It's like, what's just happened? Yeah.
And I know they'd been doing press kind of before their set because they said they missed Raised by Owls because they were doing it. So they'd had a long day.
And we could have done a couple more interviews. However, we had some technical issues.
We did, which we're blaming on the weather.
Yeah, but we had a couple of tech issues, so we didn't do any more just because we didn't want to start recording stuff and for it not to come out properly. And hopefully we won't get that again now.
No, I think hopefully we've worked out
We
what
worked out what the
root
root issue was, yeah.
and how to resolve it. And hopefully the bands that we weren't able to chat to on the day will get on the podcast at a later date.
Yeah. Then I went back to the tent with all the kit because that was all the interviews done for the day.
It was for the weekend.
Well, for the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, work over, party time. Except we don't really party on Sundays.
No.
It's a day of rest.
Yeah, I'm too full of just eating shit, drinking lots, and yeah, we just don't go over. Plus, we've got to drive back on the Monday, so we never go overboard on a Sunday, usually.
Maybe we're still a bit scarred from that accidentally
getting drunk at Leeds.
Sunday at Leeds. Yeah. Yeah, while you did that, I went to see Night Flight Orchestra.
Yeah, you got to tick them off.
Yes. And I went with the intention of just watching a couple of tracks, to be honest, purely because it was so hot and the sun was just beating down on the main stage. But I ended up staying for the whole lot because I was having such a lovely time. And yeah, they were definitely worth the potential heat stroke. And it was such a fun atmosphere as well. I feel like in a similar way to Ghost, probably even more so than Ghost, they're definitely not what you class as metal. They're definitely more metal ABBA, if you know what I mean. But to see so many people, like, not to be stereotypical, but like your stereotypical metal fan in a battle jacket, full of tattoos, long hair, piercings, and just going mad and dancing to them was such fun. Definitely was. I was having a lovely time dancing along. I'd got my hand fan, as in, like a wafty one, not a battery fan.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Like a flamenco dancer I was, dancing away with my fan wafting about. And yeah, I just had to stay till the end. So like, oh, I love this one as he went. And they ended with a conga. So they got some people out the crowd, conga on stage, and then they basically had a mosh pit conga going around the whole thing. So there's been many different mosh pits seen across the weekend, and I didn't expect a conga one to be one of them.
And while you were doing all of that, I was having a nice, chilled, relaxing time, late afternoon, just because I took the stuff back to the tent. Thought, well, you know what, I'll have a sit down and I'll drink some cider.
And I came and joined you and had a couple of cans, because I think we had got a bit of a gap at that point anyway, hadn't we?
We had, yeah.
Just a bit of a decompress, maybe, for a bit. Which I think you need to when you're in crowds all the time anyway.
You just get a bit over people at times.
Yeah, and it was quite funny when we got back to the tent. Or obviously you got back first, but it was really empty around us, tent-wise.
I think most of the campsite was.
Yeah, we'd been pretty squashed up with other tents, which, you know, happens. But we had like a lovely patch of grass outside and lots of shade we could sit in. So we made the most of it for a little bit.
Yeah, so sat there, had a few drinks, and without wanting to sound like us again, we went back for food.
We did. Well, the prime reason we went back when we did was we wanted to make sure we saw some of Carcass's set. So we're like, you know, we don't want to sit here and miss them.
Yeah.
I think, did we hear them start up maybe? I can't remember. But
no, that's when we got food, they started up.
That was it, yeah. Must have been someone else we heard start up and we went over. Anyway, yeah. And again, I was still a bit like, I don't know what I want to eat because I'm still really hot. I nearly went for another potato and I was going to check out the tuna mayo option. But there was a longer queue at the Spudman stall at that point. So I went for bunny chow because there was no queue, which seems to be my Sunday Bloodstock tradition now.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure what I wanted. And I was going to go to the duck place, but everything just didn't look to be enough. Because like the trouble with certain wraps and everything is they're just not that filling. And everything always comes in some kind of like sweet chili sauce, or I hate sweet chili sauce.
Or hoisin.
I don't mind hoisin sauce, but they were all in sauces that I didn't like.
Yeah.
And I went, no. And I ended up going to the fish and chip place.
Yeah, which is kind of unusual for us at a festival. We don't often go for that option, do we? Haven't done for a while.
I've not done it since last year.
Did you have chippy tea last year?
At Glastonbury, yeah.
I think last time I had a chippy tea at festival was, I want to say download 2017 or 18, I think.
Yeah. I just thought, oh, that's not bad. Not much of a queue. Went and got it, and it was fucking enormous again.
I know.
I just seem to pick the big ones.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how I do it, but I seem to pick the biggest food options.
Yeah, it was a whale of a fish and a stuffed ton of mushy peas.
Oh yeah, a shitload of mushy peas, and the same with the chips as well. It was just so big. Well, it was one of the most expensive foods I think I bought, but you could see why, because there was a hell of a lot of it, and it was really good.
Yes, I did sample a little bit. I'd actually lost you at that point as well because I'd got my bunny chow fairly quickly because there was no queue. And I headed over to where the duck stall was and I couldn't find it. And you were coming up behind me.
Yeah. Because when you got to the front of your queue, I was at the front of my queue and the stalls were next to each other, but you didn't. I was kind of like trying to get your attention, but you just didn't see me.
I was focused on getting my bunny chow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we managed to get a seat in the shade.
Yeah.
It's good to eat that. And yeah, I sampled a few of your mushy pea stain chips, which were very nice.
They were good.
Mm. Yeah, just while we're talking about food, so we don't jump about too much, because we wouldn't do a thing like that. I think overall, I've had pretty good food experience at Bloodstock this year. I don't think there's been a bad food.
I think it's been the best I've ever had at Bloodstock, to be honest.
Obviously, it's down to the choices we made because it's hit and miss, but I was impressed with everything. Some more than others, but I think we'll do like an official rating of all the food we had and put that out on the socials at some point.
Yeah, I think it's the volume of the stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
It seemed to be a lot of, you'd got a lot.
Yeah, whether we've just got better at finding out the kind of best value for money options or whether it was just, where we ended up.
Sunday's always a funny one because you do always end up with a lot more on a Sunday, especially if it's later on in the day.
Yeah, because they're trying to get...
Because they just want to get rid of everything.
And obviously our old favourite Sunday tradition wasn't there, so...
No. And I probably won't have one again.
I'm a bit put off them. I have to say, I know I've seen people eat them since and survive, but yeah, I'm a bit...
No, it's done it for me.
And then when we'd finished that, we headed over to Carcass, but then we just stopped and had a look around a few of the market stalls in the middle. I was in particular looking for a new thumb ring, and I found some nice options, but I didn't get one. And one of the reasons was I was kind of trying some on in the stall, and I overheard a woman saying about her fingers being swollen, so they might not be the right fit overall.
Oh.
And I was like, do you know what? Good point, because of the heat and stuff. If I get one that fits now, I might get home and in a couple of days it's too big and it's falling off. So I kind of mentally noted the names of a couple of the stores so I can look them up online and maybe get one at a later date.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's something I wouldn't have considered.
No, I didn't until I overheard someone say, so to whoever that person was, thank you.
Yeah, so you had a look around a few of the places, didn't you? And then it was off to see Carcass.
Yeah, finally ticked them off.
Yeah, they were, again, epic. Really, really good. Glad to kind of, like you say, finally tick them off. And it's like, yep, done that now.
Yeah, it's kind of just one of those bands that's been around forever and you feel like you should have seen. And now we have. And yeah, they were just great, consistent, kept the crowd momentum up.
Yeah, it didn't seem like time had kind of aged them.
Not at all, no.
It's like everything was spot on. Everything was a hit. And yeah, you could see, like you say, all of the crowd, you could see everybody was really into it. And there's a really big crowd as well for Carcass.
Yeah, as expected. Really.
As expected, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually, just the Sunday crowd levels, because I know there were quite a few people who didn't hang around Sunday because they went to see Korn.
Went to see Korn, yeah. A lot of people went to see Korn.
But there was still, obviously it was still crowded.
Yeah. The thing is, if I'd already got Bloodstock tickets and I saw that Korn were announced, I'd be annoyed, but I'd just go, I'm going to Bloodstock, so it doesn't matter.
Well, we did that really because we thought about the Scarborough date on the Thursday, but it's like, well, no, we need to be at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
On Thursday, and we didn't want to kind of go up north to the seaside for a night to rush back, and it's like, well, no,
it's just not worth it. Yeah,
on Thursday anyway.
It's a good job we didn't because we'd have never got in the media campsite.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah. I mean, lift our tent over people's guy ropes. Yeah.
Then you went over to go and watch Infected Rain, who'd been on for like 10 minutes or so after Carcass.
I think so.
By the time Carcass had finished.
Yeah, I was a bit in two minds whether to just have a rest before I'm on a marathon. I thought, what, I'll just go and see how busy the tent is, check them out, see what's occurring. And yeah, managed to get a decent-ish spot. It was busy, but not so busy that you couldn't get in and it felt overcrowded.
Yeah. I'd already brought the camping chair with me, so I went and grabbed a coffee instead. Some rock and roll.
You are? Yeah, glad I went actually. They were great live, a lot better than... Not that I thought they'd be, but I don't know, they just came across so well. Like, they sound great anyway.
Yeah.
And obviously we reviewed their new album earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just came across really well, really kind of lots of crowd participation, lots of swirling hair going around.
I can imagine.
Yeah, they were just really great visually as well. And I have to say, Lena's got like one of the most spectacular vocals I've ever heard. In terms of,
you were saying a lot about that.
Yeah, just both the clean vocals and just going in a split second from that to like a deep guttural roar was just incredible to see live. So definitely recommend going to see them if they're in the UK again. I'd definitely make an effort to go and see them and get you to come along too.
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
Yeah, so I didn't stay for the whole set. I probably stayed about half an hour or so.
Yeah.
I think. Because I was thinking I need something to just give me a pick me up, aka a coffee, before I'm on a march.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came to meet you and I was a rebel and had a caffeinated coffee at nearly 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. And it kind of shows you my caffeine addiction and levels. Like, I drink coffee before I go to sleep anyway.
Yes.
But I was absolutely shattered by Sunday night. So I was drinking large lattes that got 2 shots in with an extra 2 shots on top of that. So I was having 4 short ones.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a medium fully latte with 1 shot in,
Yeah, and I'd like 2 or 3 of them while I was waiting for you.
But yeah, it was perfect to give me that final boost before I'm on a march.
Yeah, I needed it.
Definitely.
And then, the headliner, I'm on a Marth. They were unbelievable. You can see why they're a headline band.
Yes, definitely. I think we've already mentioned about the order of things. It would be better if they weren't on Sunday, just because I was flagging a bit. But to be honest, the coffee and then kind of just their performance gave me a boost and I stuck it out to the end.
Yeah, so I stayed on the kind of edges, didn't I? Because I got the chair with me, so I didn't want to get too close anyway. So I made the use of my chair and sat down, had a good view. You went quite close in.
Yeah, I was fairly close to the front on the right-hand side as you look at it, with the intention of maybe staying there for 2-3 songs, then maybe coming further back to watch from where you were.
Yeah.
But I got a really good view. There seemed to be nice people around me, and I thought, I'll just stay here. Why not?
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? If you're feeling fine and you're comfortable who's around you, then stay where you are.
I could feel the heat from the pyros, which always adds to the ambience.
I do love feeling the heat from a pyro.
Yeah, and it was probably the warmest evening we'd had, actually, I think.
Probably was,
I don't think I'd put my hoodie on because it was warm when we left the tent, so I just risked it without, and I was okay.
Yeah, and I mean, they blasted through their set. A lot of people seem to kind of go early as well, I noticed.
I noticed quite a few people leaving after Raise Your Horns.
Yeah, I was like, you must know they've still got like at least 3 or 4 more they're going to have right now.
I wasn't sure. Are they leaving because they think they finished? Are they leaving because they're day tickets that want to get home? Or are they just weekend people who want to get home? Or are they going to get a good spot for Satyricon? Who knows?
I think it's a combination of everything.
Yeah, probably.
I think there were some people that genuinely thought they'd done.
Yeah, there could have been. But yeah, it was pretty much a greatest hit set, wasn't it? As you would have expected, really. Played all my favourites. Obviously, we had the Row mosh pit.
Yes.
Don't know if it was the biggest one ever, but
I imagine it was.
For the UK, at least.
The UK, yeah.
I didn't actually expect people to start rowing until the middle bit of the track. When there is the kind of the interlude of rowing. And about partway through the first verse, I just turned around and everyone on the floor behind me, apart from kind of the row stood behind me, was on the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, are we doing it already? But I didn't partake because the people kind of stood directly behind me weren't. And I was worried about getting trod on where I was stood.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a thoroughfare for people going back in that had crowd surfed over, or people who were just going to try and get into the middle. So with it being dark as well, I didn't want to get squished.
Yeah, there was a lot of people around me doing it.
But I've got some footage of the road.
Oh, have you?
Obviously, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and like you said, it was a great selection of like greatest hits and a perfect Sunday finish. I would have liked to have seen them on the Saturday and open on the Sunday.
Yeah, which
I think that would have been perfect.
Or even them on the Friday, maybe.
Well, them on the Friday and open Sunday.
So I would have probably just had a sit down to open than that.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, just because,
You're old.
Yes. But no, it definitely ended things on a high for me. I thought they were a great way to end the weekend. And I was quite sad when it was over, raising our mead horns, which I don't own. But it does make me want to get a Viking horn to drink out of.
Oh. Sadly, we didn't watch Satyricon, and with the amount of people that were going into the tent as well, probably wouldn't have seen anything.
Yeah, for me, it was a combination of that and the fact that Monomarth was so great that I wanted that to be my lasting memory.
Yeah, you don't want to taint it just in case Satyricon weren't as good.
No, so hopefully we'll get to see Satyricon another time. And obviously we didn't stay for any after parties because we were already way past our bedtime, especially for Sunday.
Yeah, and then straight back to the tent. Pretty much straight to sleep, I think.
I think it was, yeah.
And it was kind of, that was it.
malted milk and a sip of water, and off we
Yeah.
go.
A few runs to the tent and back. Not to the tent, to the car and back when we were packing down Monday morning.
Yeah, of course it decided to rain first thing Monday morning, didn't it? When you're thinking, oh, we'll get the tent away dry. No, it rained. So on that basis, even though we woke up fairly early, about 6, half 6, was it?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. We could hear it raining, so there's no point hurrying to start getting stuff done because we put the tent up in the rain, but didn't want to take it down in the rain.
Yeah, but we got it sorted out. We got everything took down, packed away in 2 or 3 runs, I think it was.
I think it was 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was the Bloodstock weekend. We obviously, as we left, we knew which way we were going, so
Didn't get lost on the way home. And yeah, I think we were home about an hour later. Because
Yeah,
the other thing as
something
well,
like that.
obviously, because we didn't hurry to go too early, you missed the traffic.
Yeah, you do miss a lot of the traffic, and especially because of where we are position-wise. So we kind of hit traffic more coming in, but we lose it going out because it's people queuing to kind of get out of the other car park. And
Yeah, we kind of go
we're further
around
past that. Yeah.
And then obviously knowing Derby as we do, there's no point getting stuck in the rush hour going through there.
No.
Not that we go through the city centre, but like the ring road bit, so.
Yeah, we know the back roads and stuff, so.
Yeah, and that was Bloodstock
That was
for another
Bloodstock,
year.
yeah. I'm counting down for next year now.
Already. Can't wait.
So that was the third and final part of the Bloodstock review for this year. Big thank you to Costa Nostra PR. We hope you've enjoyed all the stuff that we've been putting out. There'll be all the interviews, there's the vlog, and all of the stuff on socials. So if you want to catch those, they are on Instagram, Threads, and X at Ready to Mosh Cast. They're on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Ready to Mosh. We've also got our Patreon as well, which is just £3 a month, and for that you get access to the bloopers that don't make it into the show, early access to episodes wherever possible, and you get to find out what we've got planned before anybody else. Finally, you can also support the podcast for free by giving us a 5-star rating and a nice little review on whatever platform you're listening to, and we'll be back soon with another episode.
Raise your horns, Moog.